We're back live in LA, TotalTutor.net, Twitter, Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, Total Education with Neil, and the Total Education Celebrity Show together in a simulcast TV radio thing. And I am just really excited to have celebrity actress Pam Bowen coming to the studio. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. I want to know what you're going to educate me on.
Oh, you're going to, I'm going to educate you on just basically how I can ask a bunch of questions in a cup of coffee type setting, and then ask you as an expert, especially in your career in acting, how'd I do? You know, you've probably been on many different shows, being interviewed and different things, but tell our audience your background and how you kind of were away from Hollywood for 10 years and came back. But tell us some of the roles you had in Hollywood before taking some time off.
Okay. Well, let me just say first, I'm from Texas, okay. So I grew up in a town of 600 people where, you know, being an actress is the absolutely last thing on anyone else's mind. But I always wanted to be an actress since I was 6 years old. And I left Texas and went to New York, cold turkey. And from that, met a few people, auditioned for some things, and got on a soap opera. So I started out doing soaps. I did a soap in New York called Loving, and that was 2 years. And then I did a soap in L.A. called Days of Our Lives for about a year.
Oh, yeah.
And from there, I went on, and I did lots of guest stars on nighttime television, you know, at that point. And I guess the last, I won't bore you with all the details.
No, I'm interested in the details.
The last big thing I did, well, I had a series called Land's End.
Okay.
With, I don't know if a lot of you probably don't remember him, but
I'm a huge Fred Dryer.
Fred Dryer, he was a former football player, but he's a wonderful actor. And we had a series called Land's End that we shot in Mexico, in Cabo San Lucas.
How about that?
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then after that, well, actually, right before I got that series, I got married to a musician, and we had a child. Okay. So I was doing that series when I had the baby. He was 6 months old.
That was challenging.
Yes. And so after that, I came back to L.A., and I got a mini-series called Julius Caesar. Okay. With Chris Noth and Christopher Walken.
Oh, wow.
Only I found out I had to go to Malta to shoot it.
And then with your family, you're like, I don't know if I can continue.
It was really hard. My son by this time was a little boy, and I left, and I was gone for about a month and a half, and I would call him every night, and I actually flew in on a couple of weekends, and that was really tough, flying all the way from Malta and going right back on Monday morning. And at some point he looked at me and he said, "Mommy, please don't leave me again." And I go, you know what? No amount of applause, no amount of accolades could absolutely take the...
Well, that's just tremendous that you did that. Because, I mean, that's really seeing parenting is important. And on an education show, I'm glad to hear that.
Well, it's important for our future, everyone's future, to have our kids in a stable environment and to raise them with love, is what I think.
So you worked with a lot of talented people, and you had to walk away.
Yes.
Almost kind of like I had to do in pro wrestling to get married. I said I couldn't do it anymore. I had to walk away from the entertainment business and go into education, and I said become a teacher. Because I said it's just not the life to have a family.
No,
that type of thing, especially in acting and in wrestling. You're on shoots for so long period of time, you really can't spend time with the kids. And I saw that with my wife. I said I couldn't be going to Germany and all these different places. So you made that decision. So you took about 10 years off, right?
I took 10 years off. And during that time, I raised my son. And he, to this day, I'm dating myself. I'm telling you how old I am. My son just went to college. He's at NYU.
Oh, congratulations.
And he's the most incredible human being on this planet, I have to tell you. I am so proud of him. And he's studying music, and he's quite gifted. So once he went to college, he looked at me and he goes, "Mom, you need to get a life." I teased him. I said I was going to move in with him in NYU. Wow. I said, "Okay, honey, I'll get a life." And I really had been missing acting. I missed it so much because it is my passion and I love it. And I decided I'm going to jump back into it. But where I didn't quite understand what the business was like, even though I've been in the business for years and years, is that once you leave acting or the entertainment industry and you're away from it, people forget about you. Yeah. People, even my resume is a mile long.
Well, I saw it. I was amazed.
It doesn't matter. It's like, well, what have you been doing lately? And I go, well, I've been raising my son, taking my dogs for walks. Well, we need footage on you. So I go, okay.
Are you serious?
Oh,
a lot of the connections you had then are gone.
They're gone. And I thought, this is going to be easy. I'll just jump back in.
Exactly.
You know, I'm older, but I'm mom. I can still play moms. You know, I can still play a lot of roles. So I started thinking, you know what? I don't believe in people telling me no.
Right.
And my father was superintendent of schools, so I came from a background of educators. And my boss, I worked when I was 16 in a furniture store, and my boss was a decorated pilot from World War II. And he used to come in every day and say, Pamela, PMA, PMA. And I go, well, what is PMA? He said, positive mental attitude.
So you had to kind of utilize that growing up to now, because you're being rejected.
Well, you know,
and as a talented actress, you felt probably hurt in certain ways to say, oh my gosh, what's happening?
Well, I felt hurt, I felt old, and I felt like, oh God, am I going to be able to do this? Can I really get back into it? And it was very intimidating. It still is intimidating.
I'm sure.
But I kept hearing those voices in my head. PMA, you can do anything you want to do. And I'm a firm believer in affirmations, and by my bedside is the old Norman Vincent Peale's The Power of Positive Thinking.
Exactly,
I still live by that. So I decided, okay, they need new footage, they need to see what I can do. And I decided to sort of go in the back door. So I started calling the colleges around that has great film schools, USC, UCLA, Chapman University. And I said, I want to do some short films. So if you have a good short film crew, and if you have some good stories, because it's really all about the story.
And they want to partner with you because of your experience.
They want good actors. And so the first one I did, I even brought it to show you.
We have to show it for the camera right there.
Shoot the Moon. And I'm very proud of this little film because this was by far one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Oh my.
It was shot by a camera crew, directed by a student at Chapman University, very professional. Everything was done just as if you were on a real set.
Right.
And it's 26 minutes long, and we're in over 95 film festivals right now, and we have won probably about 45. Thank you. I know I'm bragging, but I'm just so proud of it.
You have to do that, Pam.
Because getting back into it when nobody wanted to see me or take me seriously that I was doing this again, is like, I'm going to show you. There is no reason anyone should ever listen to the word no, I believe.
So once this happened, is it opening doors up to do some more projects now?
Yes, it's opening doors up. I'm actually I was just on hold for a couple of different major primetime TV shows, and yesterday I had another audition for a feature film that it looks like I may get, so I'm going to knock on wood on that.
Well, you'll be coming back as a regular on my show with the phoners, but at least you have to keep me going on what's happening, so we're in this. So let's talk a little bit about Shoot the Moon before we run out of time, because I want to know specifically how working with this crew, and kind of you have the experience. How did you mentor the rest of the people in certain ways because of how many places you've worked and the different things? You come in with an understanding, and they're just learning.
Well, you know, they've learned a lot. Chapman is an incredible film school, and I will say the director was very kind, because as an actor, you learn the story, and it's a very emotional piece. And in order to get to the emotions, I'm making up my story and my background, and I said to him, before I'm ready to shoot, I'm going to give you this finger.
Yes.
That means you can start rolling the camera. Please just let me have my space. Don't call action until I do this, because I need to get my head in the space in order to give you what you need to do.
Yes.
So he learned that if an actress really knows, or an actor really knows what they're doing, that he learned to work under those kind of circumstances, especially when it's an emotional piece.
Wow.
But having said that, it was such a pleasure to work with him, and I think they learned how actors really work, how professional actors work, and how, you know, I certainly don't believe in being a diva on the set no matter what. I think we all learn. I was learning from then, even, because the business has changed a lot.
How's it changed?
Well, I think now everything is very quick, everything is digital, everything's instant gratification.
Right.
So
they do shoots in like 7 days sometimes. And it's quick.
We shot this film in 4 days.
So, and you're used to before?
I had, 15 takes, and I'm used to working with directors that had all the time in the world, that that we had weeks and weeks upon end to shoot something.
Did it help that you were probably, I don't know if you were ever on stage before as an actress as well, that where you were in the theater, did you ever do any theater projects?
I did a lot. In fact, I just finished a piece on Melrose this December. But theater is so different from film and television.
But
theater,
you
big.
never get a chance to make mistakes.
Right.
So that helps with the shoots to make sure you don't make mistakes.
It does. So now I just acquired the rights to this little film, and I'm taking another leap of faith. I am about to produce and develop it for a feature. So we will have a feature film out in probably a year and a half to 2 years.
So who are you thinking of some pretty big people to be involved?
No, I have some big directors that I'm looking at, and this is my calling card. I've decided I'm not giving this baby up. This is my part. I'm going to do this.
Supporting with you.
No, I'm looking for some supporting actors, but we haven't finished writing the feature script yet.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to have a really great male character, and there are children in it. So it's and a dog. There's always got to be a dog. So I'm hoping. We'll see what happens.
I'm hoping for you, and it's so great. And we're going to have to keep up to date in what's going on. And Pam, have you noticed how different promotion is now for actors and actresses in Hollywood compared to when you were doing it 10 years ago? What do you see the differences? I guess social media is one.
Well, social media, and I was just saying last night to a friend of mine, I said, okay, I'm on Twitter. I don't quite understand it yet. I'm really trying. Show me what I need to do.
I can teach you.
I need to be taught about Twitter. Facebook I've got, but Twitter is still, everybody tweets and I don't know what to do.
I will teach you so we can stay off the air.
Yes.
I can be your coach.
You can be my mentor. You can educate me.
That's what they do.
One thing I am doing, I'm very happy about too. I just want to mention this quickly. There are a lot of young filmmakers, a lot of kids that are very interested in filmmaking now. And I've got in contact with a 12-year-old boy that wants to be the next Steven Spielberg. He's already produced 3 shorts.
How cool.
And I'm shooting a short film for him next weekend. I just got the script, and it's really good. And I'm thinking, wow, if we as human beings, you, me, all of us adults, could take a real interest in kids at that age and don't poo-poo their dreams and tell them, I'll help you.
Yes.
And really go out on a limb to help these kids. You don't know what that's going to produce.
You don't know what it's going to produce. And I think that the more we work together in Hollywood to help the next generation, the better chance we are that we're going to get the right projects, the right opportunities. And if it's a lot of backbiting, which I'm sure was going on when you were 10 years ago, is it the same? You think it's different? Because I think the difference is now you can do something like this. 10 years ago, you couldn't.
Right.
You couldn't, unless you were funded by a big company, forget about it.
Yeah.
But now, because of this economy and these opportunities and YouTube, you can just do so much more.
Oh, it's so amazing. I work with a fantastic, amazing acting coach, and we have I work with one other person with him. And I'm thinking, this is so great. We should just go out and shoot our own little material and put it up on YouTube, because you can actually get things funded like that now, and that's amazing.
We all know about YouTube today, for sure, and also TV. So it's a lot of fun. That's fantastic.
I am learning so much about it myself. I tell my acting coach, I'm starting over. I have no ego. I am starting over. And if you look at life that way, if you look at anything you do, then you don't have the anger, you don't have the resentment, and it's all fresh and it's new and exciting again.
Well, I'm excited to be your friend, and I'm glad we got to meet, and I'm definitely going to have you on for a phoner next month to tell us some news on this, and hopefully a big role, because I want to know that, so that maybe I'll come back to LA, go on the set and interview you and some of your cast members or different things, or what other projects you're having. Feel free. We can figure out other ways of getting some other people that are involved in this short to get their recognition as well.
Great.
So where can we find information on you, our listeners and viewers? First of all, Twitter,
Pam Jams 26. I think that's my Twitter name. Oh my God. And I have Facebook. Actually, my Facebook is under Pamela Stanley. Believe it or not, I have to change that. I was married to a gentleman named Paul Stanley, and so my son said, "Mom, please keep my name." So I haven't changed back to my acting name yet. So Pamela Stanley on Facebook, PamelaBowen.org is my website, and IMDb is Pamela Bowen.
Well, fantastic. It was great meeting you.
Great meeting you too, Neil. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. And you're listening to Total Education with Neil and watching Total Education with Neil, and we'll be back in just a moment.